Oh my God. Chris D'Elia is sending me a DM right now. Holy cow. You don't think they're going to save that stuff just for their own archives for life? I just had a dream come true. You just sent me a celebrity just sent me a text. A celebrity saw me. You don't think they're still holding that stuff? Come on. Pascal. Chris D'Elia is facing CP, child rhymes with corn, lawsuit from a woman who says he had sex with her at 17. We just saw a video. If you don't remember who Chris D'Elia looks like, he looks like a human version of an eagle. Okay, so there he is right there. And sorry, he makes that joke about himself all the time. But if you don't know who Chris D'Elia is, he's a comedian. He was a growing up and coming, very popular comedian. And now he is straight up facing, and I'm just going to show it to you right here. Chris D'Elia facing CP lawsuit for a woman who says he had the adult time with her at 17 years old. Okay? So he was just on. We just watched a video of him going, hey, you guys don't know my side of the story, so on and so forth. It's not, you're not seeing the full spectrum of it and all. And now he is getting, there's a new lawsuit. So comedian Chris D'Elia is facing a new lawsuit that accuses him of violating federal child P word and child SE laws, including soliciting more than 100, let's just say adult content photos and videos from a woman identified as Jane Doe. Over more than 100 photos of this woman, underage woman, in very compromising positions, I'm assuming. Okay? Real story. Half of the photos and videos were allegedly taken when Doe was 17 years old, according to the lawsuit, which was filed today, in federal district court for the Central District of California and reviewed by the Times. Doe had reached out to D'Elia in September of 2014 via Instagram, never expecting a reply. The comic was on his Under No Influence tour at the time. They later communicated via Snapchat, the suit alleges. When I was in my final year of high school and still a child, I was groomed by a celebrity twice my age, Doe said in a statement released Tuesday by her attorneys, Monica Beck and Chloe Neely of the Fireberg National Law Group. Chris D'Elia abused his status and fame to lure me in, take advantage, and manipulate me when I was at a vulnerable age. I want any other girls out there to know that they are not alone, and it is time to get justice for the mental and physical toll he has put us through. Spokesperson for D'Elia said Chris denies all these allegations, and will vigorously defend them in court. Now, of course, you already know his career basically just went to complete-ish last June after multiple women accused him via social media of sending graphic messages soliciting sex. In some cases, the women had gone to see him in person and described inappropriate behaviors seeking the S word, seeking sex. 5 of D'Elia's many accusers spoke in detail to the Times. Some of those women were underage at the time the comic contacted them. D'Elia was quickly dropped by his talent representatives at 3 major agencies, and a planned Netflix prank show was canned. His role as Zack Snyder's zombie movie, Army of the Dead, was recast, and like Louis C.K. before him, D'Elia basically has professionally been exiled. So, just a little bit ago, after 8 months of silence, He attempted to explain his misbehavior in a 10-minute video posted on YouTube, which we saw, and he admitted to sex. It controlled my life. It was my focus all the time, and I had a problem. And I do have a problem. It's not like months down the line, everything's better. I need to work on that. He admitted having sexual contact with many women while he was performing on the road and said that there were way more messages to women than those that had been revealed on social media last summer. He maintained that all of his relationships were legal and consensual. But according to the lawsuit, Doe and D'Elia began exchanging messages in which he pursued her to send him sexually explicit photos of herself. D'Elia constructed a manipulative, controlling, and abusive dynamic in which he demanded Miss Doe provide him sexually explicit images of herself over the internet, directed her what specific sexual poses and acts she should perform for him, and psychologically punished her when she refused. The lawsuit alleges their interactions occurred over the space of 4 months. Chris D'Elia was 34. The lawsuit says. He also allegedly pursued her to attend one of his stand-up shows in October 2014 at Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut. Before the show, Doe's attorney said in a statement he lured her into his hotel room, separated her from her friends, and took advantage of her youth and inexperience to have sex with her. The lawsuit states Doe was a virgin before meeting the comic. Doe attended the show and then returned to D'Elia's room after for another sexual encounter, the lawsuit says. Man. D'Elia reportedly asked how old she was and whether she was in high school, the lawsuit alleges. At the time and subsequently, Mr. D'Elia expressed that Miss Doe's age, innocence, and virginity made the encounter quote-unquote hot, the attorney said in their statement. The filing includes graphic descriptions of what Doe alleges occurred between the two of them, both in the hotel room and after via social media. Their communication continued until May 2015. The lawsuit says Doe turned 18 on January 31st, 2015. The lawsuit seeks damages to be assessed at trial. D'Elia, meanwhile, only returned to social media 4 days ago with a post of his son saying "Dada." There you have it, guys. Chris D'Elia is in the hot seat again, and that's no bueno. This is no bueno. You know what I mean? This is no bueno, guys. Not at all. David, your thoughts?
Yeah. So I wasn't too surprised to see this based on what we've just heard about him, recently. I mean, this scandal is where my introduction to him, basically. So it's not really surprising that it just keeps getting worse. But this is more like something that shouldn't get a pass in this case, because they specifically say that he was attracted to people underage because he thought it was hot. So that's not one that should be let slide. They shouldn't let that one slide by.
That's the for me that's the part where I'm like, hey, it's that for me. Real talk, it's that for me. That's gross. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing. Like I'm not gonna defend anyone who's out here doing bad things, sending out personal messages via social media, basically saying send nudes, etc., to people that you don't know their age. Okay, I'm never gonna condone that ever, regardless. But he really did push the envelope. He really did take it to that next level and not give a damn. Then also he knew her age. He knew her actual age. But the thing is though, in regards to this particular situation, what is the legal age? Because would it be considered child porn, right? Would it be considered child porn if the girl is of legal age age range. Would it be considered that still?
I think it's based on the state laws for ages there.
Then you
From
also
what I
got to remember,
remember,
if you're real quick, and then you can answer because you are the whiz kid on this stuff. But when it comes to say David, I want to send you some nudes. I'm 17 years old, but I'm in Missouri, right? And I send you, and this is I'm sorry, bad analogy, but you know what I'm saying. Just go with me. I send you these wonderful, immaculate nudes of my 17-year-old self, right? But I'm in Missouri, right? I'm in my own state. You're in Colorado. Does it count? Like if say it's legal for me here, but it's illegal for you over there. Would that be considered illegal if it's being sent to you over there? Or would it be still legal because it's coming from me in my own state? You see what I'm saying? What are the confines of this? Because from my understanding, consensual sexual encounters in some states are 17 years old. I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, so I mean that's mostly what I've seen as well. I remember from when I was younger, the rule was basically like I think it was if you're 16 or 17, you can date someone up to like 19 or 20, and then it's legal. But anything outside of those ranges was like illegal. And for most states do decide what degree of like what age counts as a sex crime or what requires a registration for that. The federal limit is 18 though, so if it was cross state, it should be the federal limit of 18. But as long as you're within your state, it's whatever your state says, I guess. But if you're crossing state lines, it would have to fall under the federal limit of 18, which doesn't have that. It doesn't have that window built in where you can be like 17 with a 19-year-old in the federal ruling.
Right. And I mean, of course, obviously he was taking advantage of the situation, of course, too, because of his celebrity, his age, his experience, etc. And he was obviously getting, he was obviously turned on by the idea of talking to somebody so young. You know what I mean? By the age idea. If they're saying that he was saying how hot it was, that she was virginal and young, etc. That's gross, y'all. That'd be gross as hell. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I think, I suppose, like, if she sent those unsolicited, he would just have to delete them because, as far as I know, it's just possession of that stuff that is a crime. So if he deleted it, like someone sent it to him, he didn't want it, and he got rid of it, that wouldn't be a crime per se. It's only if he kept it. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was just thinking about it all. You know, yeah. I'm just processing it all. Sorry, I heard you.
Extra quiet.
Sorry, it was just, for me, it's really breaking my heart because I thought he was pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to find good comedians. Like younger comedians. I'm not talking like Bill Burr's been around, for a minute. You know what I mean? The fresh up and comers. It's hard to find actually funny comedians. And I thought he was pretty talented. Like he was decent, And the other thing is I had a lot of respect for him because he wasn't somebody who was, drinking and, like boozing and doing all kinds of drugs and just being stupid, But then again, his addiction and his vice was most definitely his drug of choice was sex, and it's messed up, But I saw him as somebody who had a lot of he just looked like somebody who had a lot of promise, but not anymore, not anymore.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we watched that video where he did talk about his sex addiction problems, but he never really addressed these problems of the ages he was going for and the things like that. So I don't really think he's apologetic about that. I understand. I feel you, and like you're kind of disappointed. Like I was disappointed when I heard about Louis C.K. I've never watched Chris D'Elia or whatever. Um, so I don't feel like betrayed by him, but just from what we've been hearing lately, it just keeps getting worse. And while he recognizes that he's had problems with sex addiction, he hasn't done what he needs to do to protect, I guess, kids from himself. He didn't even acknowledge that was a problem. If that's something he can't control, he needs to see a psychologist, and he needs to have someone watching him to help him out or whatever, because a lot of times those things don't go away. Even if they arrest him, he's most likely going to be okay with offending again. That's typically the case in terms of these people that get arrested for stuff like this.
No doubt.
So yeah, I understand. Yeah, like that straight edge image, but I guess this just kind of shows that, like, even if someone looks strong and clean in one area, they might still have some problem or addiction that they can't get rid of.
And nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get it twisted. I'm not expecting everybody to be squeaky clean and perfect. And this is the reason why we will be going into this next conversation here very shortly about cancel culture and where it's kind of progressed to, and where it's at now and all that, and how it's turned into an ugly monster. And we should not expect every single star out there to be squeaky clean. You know, like, you're not squeaky clean, David. I'm not squeaky clean. Nobody on this show is squeaky clean. Nobody in the family is squeaky clean. You know, some of us like it dirty, you know what I'm saying? But that's another conversation in itself. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has things that they regret that they did in their past. It's just life. That's just how it is. But, you know, when you know for a fact that you are talking to someone who is underage and is not right to be speaking to that person, or you know for a fact that it be illegal to be speaking to an underage girl and trying to get with her like that, that is wrong. And the fact that you pursue, and then all of a sudden it comes back to bite you in the ass, well, you deserve it, because that is the bed you made. You might as well lie in it. Real talk. You know? This also makes me think of another story about James Charles. Now, I know that a lot of you guys don't know who James Charles is. Maybe a lot of you do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you guys, what else you guys watch on the YouTube world and all that. But this kid is, you know, he's one of those kids that he's like one of those it kids. You know, just to be honest, he's one of those it kids that really blew up. You know, he was young when he started on YouTube, and then he blew up, became a huge, he became a huge YouTube sensation, makeup guru, etc. He's an openly gay man who started a business, and now he's a superstar. He is a freaking superstar. Now, there have been stories, and I've been thinking about doing a pop-up video about this, where I get to deep dive into this whole story, because it is very controversial and it's very crazy. But I never know if you guys are interested in hearing those side of things, unless you guys only want to hear political stuff from the show or anything. So I've been very reluctant about doing this particular story, because it's a dude named James Charles and it's makeup, and I don't do that stuff. But it's about what was going on in this particular story. He is a young gay man, who has a lot of power, has a lot of popularity. He is literally a YouTube it guy. He is one of YouTube's stars, okay? And they pride him. They pride the fact that they have that they have James Charles. I mean, this guy has broken, you know, all kinds of different things, you know, makeup, fashion lines, makeup lines, etc. Well, this just recently popped out. The second time, this is not the first time this allegation has come out. The second time an allegation has come out where he was grooming underage boys. This has been shown several times. This has been shown several times that he has talked and try to groom and try to, solicit things from these young boys. Now, He just got caught again for the second time because, like, I guess maybe like a year ago or so, he got exposed by doing this. And then he went out and he said, hey, I did not do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. He denied. But this time, the second time, he goes, yeah, guy sent me videos of him in the shower. He sent me Snapchats, blah, 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 only to find out that this kid was 16. This was not a legal age kid. He literally says this. He admits it in a tweet, which clearly incriminates him for, shows that he's broken the law because he has received underage child P word via social media. He's like, oh, once I found out that the kid was 16, I deleted everything, blah, blah, blah. He fully admits to doing wrongdoing and trying to holler at some random 16-year-old boy. So, this is what I'm talking about. These are like this type of thing of celebrity and you trying to talk to somebody via phone, trying to holla, pop your collar type stuff. It's not smart. You are a celebrity. You are a name. You know for a fact that you have a certain amount of power. That's why you get off on this kind of thing. Because you have something hanging over these people. You are a celebrity. You're in a place that everyone dreams to have, even if it is just for 2 seconds, being the king of everything, right? So you use that to spin it and throw it out, okay? And this is the problem. This is the problem with Chris D'Elia. This is the problem with James Charles. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not dumb. They know exactly what platform they have. And they know for a fact trying to holler at random people via social media is going to be Russian roulette. You never know who your fans are. And you never know how old your fans are. You need to play that. You need to play everything close to the chest. But a lot of these guys don't care. They're following their, they're following their twig and berries. They're thinking with their other head. Okay? And that's a problem. Next thing you know, you got people who are getting in trouble like this. Chris D'Elia. He's an idiot. He should have known better. He should have known better. I feel like, to me, this is the other thing about celebrity that really pisses me off. You're a celebrity. Don't you think that anything that you say, like if you are a huge celebrity and you walk into a KFC and you start acting a fool, you don't think somebody's going to catch you acting a fool inside of a KFC? I know that's a random thing and you know what I mean? But think about it. You go to a local bar or McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts and you're arguing with somebody about a dozen donuts, but you think a dozen donuts is 50 donuts? You know what I'm saying? You don't think that it's like, yo, oh my God, Denzel Washington is acting a fool inside of Dunkin' Donuts, yo. You don't think somebody's going to catch you doing that stuff? You're a celebrity. You don't think that you're going to send text messages or social media DMs to random people being like, send nudes? You don't think that person's going to save that stuff if they go, oh my God, Chris D'Elia is sending me a DM right now. Holy cow. You don't think they're going to save that stuff just for their own archives for life? I just had a dream come true. You just sent me a celebrity just sent me a text. A celebrity saw me. You don't think they're still holding that stuff? Come on. Same thing with James Charles. You don't think that you reaching out to some young kid, he's not going to go, oh my God, I don't want to mess this up. This guy's a millionaire and a superstar. And oh my God, to be a part of his crew would be amazing. You don't think that they would sit there and save all this ish? Come on. Like, people, I don't understand what planet these celebrities live on. Like they don't think, I don't know. Like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous, and they need to know better. Sorry. Go ahead, David.
There's pretty much an industry to get them out of these things. Or there's always these specifically more like celebrity-focused rehab centers and things like that where they just take these people every time they have some sort of major problem, like a sex problem, drug problem, process them, pop them out, and they just go back to the same old thing because they're really not looking for help. They're just looking for a quick way to get forgiveness, basically, or to let people forget why they're just kind of out of the mind. And the same power that gives them access to children and have those children trust them is the same power of fame and wealth that pretty much gets them out of facing consequences for it.
Right.
And this is what we see most of the time. He's probably not going to go to jail or anything. He might get a fine or something. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. I don't expect much to come of it, though. For one, it is, even if it's true, it's hard to prove that. So taking that to a criminal court, even if the statute of limitations isn't passed, might not get much of a result. Just because, like I said, proof is very hard to come by with that. They could take him through a civil suit, but ultimately he's still going to be able to go back to this. And it seems like to a degree, at least before this story, his apology on whatever that show was seemed to have been giving him some more graces back, which is, I think, why everyone's jumping on this story immediately, because he was right in the middle of trying to recover his name right when seems like he was worse than we ever thought in the first place.
Yeah, but the thing is what's funny is that these stories are the same. Nothing's changed. I read the same story in June when this story broke. This is the same pattern, if not just more creepy, more cringy. When he's sitting there going, "Oh, you're still virginal and you're only such and such age. I like that. That's gross. That's hot.
Yeah.
That's gross. That's gross. That's gross." So I was still talking about it back then, and nothing's changed. It's just an added piece, another piece. But now he has now gotten slapped in the face with another lawsuit, or with an actual lawsuit now. At first it was allegations, now it's a lawsuit, And of course he went on his thing to try to save face, and he's kind of trying to do his redemption tour and all that. And somebody like this, it's like, okay, if he is vindicated, let's just say, what if he does vigorously defend himself in court? What if he does that? Let's just say. And he's found not guilty, or he gets a slap on the wrist. Like the worst case scenario, he'll probably get slapped on the wrist for sure. Meaning like he'll probably have to pay a whole bunch of fines, maybe go to some sort of group therapy type thing, and then that's about it, right? Now, does this guy deserve to be redeemed? Does this guy deserve to be completely, quote unquote, canceled? It's something to think about. It's definitely something to think about.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.